Hello. I wanted to get a video here up on YouTube so it's not too inactive. And I'll make this video talking about my art. I feel it would be nice to share whatever I have to say on it, thoughts, feelings, reasonings, whatever. Just cover some of my more recent art. We'll start here with Barrier. I really like eyes glowing in the dark. I I like that look. Like I think Batman is a good example. I think they use it in the animated series where it'll just be his eyes in the dark. I really like that look when it's used in games, movies, whatever. So I went for a simple drawing here about that, where it's all the focus is on the eyes. And I draw in country ball style. So all the emotion is just in the eyes, for the most part. I guess you could do some other things, but it's either 100% or very much of it will all be in the eyes. So here, I just got someone in the dark looking up, all sorrowful, just a bit sorrowful. So just a little nice, calm, melancholic drawing, I guess. Next one we got here is Death. This is just a sketch, and you got Death here and his scythe pulling all of these people here, to death. To talk about some of the details in here, I made Death. I didn't even think about this actually. I just drew it because that's how I felt Death would feel. Just a bit pained and sad about the act of death and his role in it as he takes these people. It pains him. And the people down here, you got these two people looking directly at the act of death coming, represented by the scythe. This one just more looking normally, this one more scared. You got this person here panicking, and you got this group really cuddled together and scared, sad, in fear. You got this person asleep, just ignoring it all. And then here you got someone looking directly at death. And then his counterpart over here looking up, meant to represent looking to God. So a little duality there. Someone who looks directly at death and someone who looks up away at God. And then you have the look series of images here. So this is the first image ever. I used the paintbrush brush in Krita, and I have really, really liked using that. And it has been the only brush I've been using since, for the most part. I really love the paintbrush. Let me go get an example of some old art. Yeah, we'll use that one. So, before I was using the airbrush tool a lot to draw. It gives this nice fade away from the body. It's just a slow fade instead of more abrupt, just, bam. It's abrupt. Get more of a fade away. And I like the paintbrush because it gives a bit of a middle ground between that abruptness. So you can see it barely feels like it's got a bit of a fade away, especially right here. And I also just really like the look of it compared to the airbrush and more solid lines. It really does feel like a very good middle ground between the two, because I really, really love the lack of clarity, directness, and lack of boundary, I guess. But I found that limiting in some ways, and I feel the paintbrush strikes a good middle ground between not having boundaries and being able to have some of that boundary. I don't know. Maybe you get what I mean. This image here, I just wanted to have two people looking. One looking at you, one looking at that person. This person turned. Try to give it more of a look like they're turning to see you. And this one that they're just kind of restfully looking at this person. But I guess not too much to say there. Now for the next few of the look series. Actually, let me get that image again. Or actually, do we have something better? Let's get this one. So one of the other things I really liked about the airbrush tools, you could get this atmospheric texture in the background. And again, with the paintbrush, you can get a similar thing. And that was what I tried to do in this image. And I actually... it's not as prominent in this one, but you can see there's a bit of background fog differentiation, whatever, going on back here. But in this one I really made it more apparent with all of these. And I think this is a good comparison. This is the same sort of image done in two different styles. This is me doing it in my airbrush style. This is me doing it in my paintbrush style. I hope you can see what I mean. But like, I keep some of that abstractness, that lack of boundary, but like I get more of it, but I still retain what makes the lack of it good, if that makes sense. But yeah, I just made 3 different versions of it, of them looking. This one came out a bit weird. It looks like they're got the crazy eyes. That wasn't the intention. It was more to give a 3D look, but I should have made that eye a bit bigger. Probably. So they look crazy, but that wasn't the intention. This was me trying to make them look more normal. Just more looking down this way and less 3D. And then... oh, sorry, that is not the first one. This was the first one. Yeah, my bad. This was the first one. This is the second one. This is the third one. But here's the last one on the list I had. It's the first one. Again, with that 3D look, having only part of this eye viewable to give that look. And that will be it for the look series of images. And then here we got radiance. This one was meant to express the life force that, like how you can feel heat from a bonfire on your skin, that life force you can feel from a lot of people to different degrees. That's what this is all about. The little radiance of that energy. And I get that feeling more from women, so made it pink here. And some more of that background stuff I was talking about with the paintbrush. How it differs from the airbrush. I really like the look of it. And again, the boundary of it, it's like you can get in between. Another good example. This like little radiance, heat, emotion, feeling thing here. Then you got the fracture series here. Let's see. So this is the original. It's not my favorite. And after I finished it, I made these edits of it to make it better. Biggest changes were I got rid of these arrows here in all of the edits. And then in some of the edits, I got rid of this sword here. Like those. And then this is just an edited version of it. I removed the movement lines over here. And of course, those arrows. And then this is just edit with no sword. But this is my current favorite. I have another edit of it. I did some further things I'm still working on and haven't uploaded. But explain what's going on in this. Yeah, it's a fracture. You got 4 frames, images here that are all fractured. First frame here is just sadness. Here you got anger. Here we got a literal fracture of someone, literally fracturing in an explosion. Then in frame 4, you got someone filled with lots of emotions and their eyes just more normal, blank, holding it in. And then this is a part of frame 4 as well. It's meant to symbolize all the emotions. There's a lot to say here that I feel and think about this picture, but I do not know how to really express that, put that into words, but hopefully y'all get something from this. Last one here. I wanted to make a more landscape, something more focusing on the landscape than the people. Because it's always, like, all of these, it's always focused on the person. There isn't much background going on. Right? So I wanted to mess around a bit with that. So focusing on the background, a bit of a simple grass here. I wonder if I can do that better, because it feels a bit too blank. But you got the stars and the sunset here. And I also tried out shading here a bit. It is not on any of the images I have posted here. This is from like years and years ago. But I have messed around with shading before, but it's been a while. So, tried some shading here and it looks good. And I guess this is just a pretty simple picture. Not much to say. You again got that thing I'm talking about, how the paintbrush feels like a middle ground between the airbrush and the just like solid lines. Got a good transition here. I even used it a bit in the grass. It's not all just a solid color. It has a bit of variation going on, but yeah, I guess that is all I have to say about my recent art.